Call of Duty Zombies has been around for 15 years, and at this rate it'll continue for another 15. However, will it be the mode that we all love and grew up on? Will it still grip the players like the OG crew did back in the day? I think these questions can only be answered by how passionate the development team are for the upcoming instalments, and whether they remember what's important to the traditional Zombies mode that we all know. And if they don't wish to create it, then name it something else!
WCF, mate.
Welcome back guys, it's Elwood here from Not So Serious Gaming. I covered the creation of this great mode in my first video as I spoke about World at War, and I also covered the growth as I spoke about Black Ops 1 and 2 in my other video. So today's video is about the reputable Black Ops 3, and just how it still is going strong today. Well, at least compared to the likes of Vanguard and MWZ. Please check out my entire WTF Happened to Gaming series. Follow my journey as I discuss how passion was used to create these maps, which we, the players, can truly tell as the story and gameplay would grip us like it was intended to, unlike what we're seeing today. I just pray and hope that the future developers keep the passion flowing in this mode, or it will just fizzle out. If only they could hire some of the great and talented mappers who have kept zombies alive within Black Ops 3. However, before I take you on the journey known as Black Ops 3, I'd first like to talk about the most influential developer of Zombies franchise, Jason Blundell. Pretty much every Zombies fan will know his name, unlike the main father and sole creator of Zombies, Jesse Snyder. I covered his background before he created Zombies, so I think it's only fair I poke around Jason's past, and tell you a little bit about him before I cover Black Ops 3 and 4. Jason was born in England, woohoo! In Warrington. Yeah. Not having any big game companies nearby when he was growing up, he was always told he would never achieve his dreams of becoming a programmer. Family and friends, and even his guidance counsellor told him he would end up being an electrician. However, Jason's mind had already been blown away by gaming. Discovering the MSX, he fell in love with programming, and the game Elite was the first game that truly gripped him into this creative world, introducing him to programming and vector gaming. His parents got fed up with him and his antics, and he was made to travel to his uncle's on the weekends. This is where he started his programming journey. Just 10 years old, he would use the MSX computer his uncle had. Seeing the passion that Jason had for creation, his uncle would then task him to add in all the colours for the sprites for the game he was working on. Jason just loved the creative side and knew at that moment he was going to be a game designer no matter what people said. This is where his uncle would tell him he was too young to program, inspiring Jason to learn as much as he could. Refusing to give in, this is where he memorised the ultimate guide to MSX coding so he would impress his entire family. Determined to prove everyone wrong, once he had finished up his education, Jason moved to Liverpool to be closer to a games company called Psygnosis. And he would...
I just hang around. I just like, well, please let me in.
The first thing he did to get into the industry was create his own voxel polygon engine. This would help create the voxel landscape in games.
That whole thing of like what I wanted was a voxel landscape and then polygon kind of craft, casting shadows onto a voxel landscape, which at the time was
sounds sick.
It was pretty cool. I used to take that around and go, please look at my demo. I've programmed this.
He approached multiple companies with this, trying to get his foot in the door. This is where he managed to get a job at SCE, which is also known as Sony Tests. This is where he got his first job in the industry and became a tester for Parappa the Rapper and G-Police. Blundell finally began his main career at Activision as a programmer and producer for several game titles. This was all before joining Treyarch, before he worked on the production of Call of Duty 3. Although this did lead to him feeling like an imposter, as he never felt like he was talented enough.
Sooner or later they're going to work out I'm an imposter and I shouldn't be here.
Right.
So at least I'll have all these letters, and if it all goes to shit, like they go, I used to work in games, at least for 2 minutes, you know.
This didn't stop him working on the campaign for Call of Duty 3, World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. Due to his hard work, he was promoted to creative director after taking over from Jimmy Zelensky in December 2014. Not only was he a producer on almost every COD, but he also worked on 007 Quantum of Solace for those who played that back in the day. After being told he wasn't going to make it, he managed to prove everyone wrong and achieved immense feats such as becoming a creative director. This was a big FU to all those who doubted him, as he became one of the biggest names in a generation, inspiring loads of people, and captivated millions of gamers with his creative designs and fresh ideas. His first map as creative director was Mob of the Dead, and then moved on to Origins. Due to the immense success of Black Ops 3 Zombies, in November 2016, he later became co-studio head of Treyarch alongside Dan Bunting and Mark Gordon. This wouldn't stop him though, as after the failure of Black Ops 4, or success depending whom you ask, he stepped down from Treyarch to start his own studio in late February in 2020 after 13 years. But we won't talk about that, as I believe he's also walked away from that too. I have no idea what he's doing now, apart from the odd video with JC. Throughout my last few episodes I've gone into great detail about the creator's history of this amazing game mode. Without Jesse and Jason, we wouldn't have what we know and love today as traditional zombies. We could end up with something entirely different, kinda like what we have today. Now close your eyes for a moment. Imagine Cold War zombies didn't hold your hand through the Easter egg just like a lost puppy. Imagine it had a normal point system, not the stupid points per kill system. Imagine Vanguard was never released. Now imagine a world where Activision didn't just remaster old classics in hope of making a quick buck. Instead, imagine they put all their resources together to hire Jesse and Jason to create a standalone zombies game we have always wanted. One full of passion and love. Not just full of microtransactions and crap just cause they're pressured to. Imagine a world where they have more than a year to create a game. Now wake from that dream and enter a nightmare, sadly that won't be happening. But we are meant to be getting a round-based mode in 2024, so I'm pretty hyped for that. If it ever happens, which I kinda doubt. Now I've covered who I believe to be the most important figures of zombies, I think it's time to head back to the games. Black Ops 3. This was the 12th game in the franchise and the first time Treyarch was given a 3-year development cycle. This proved to be super beneficial as people are still playing this game almost 10 years later. Sony had the exclusive rights early to the DLC, and this meant they also got the beta early. Whilst researching this, I saw they had originally planned an open world story mode. That would have been pretty cool. Way better than what we got with MWZ. Instead, they used the extra time to polish off maps and create in-depth Easter eggs that we have not had anything like this ever since due to time crunches. This extra time and dedication also birthed COD Zombies' first comic book series. They used this to build upon the lore that they had created over the years and everyone gobbled it up. Personally, I never played Black Ops 3 on release. I know, it's hard to believe with how much I played the previous ones. However, it was apparent I was getting too obsessed with zombies, so much so the gods intervened, resulting in me having a car crash and breaking my neck, delaying me from actually playing it. This resulted in me stepping away from new generation gaming for a while, and I went onto a retro rampage. Mostly due to the fact I didn't want to play any futuristic Call of Duties, as I had grown up playing more realistic war games. And I'm not gonna lie, I just hated the changes that COD was making, not knowing the exosuits weren't actually part of the zombies. Slightly put off by the first map not having the OG characters, I wasn't too fussed it has taken me so long to play, thinking it was just another futuristic copycat of the game modes that we all knew and loved for Activision to rake in a ton of money. It turns out, I was totally wrong. Black Ops 3 was much more than I could ever imagined. Eventually, I did end up playing it, and I just loved completing some of the Easter eggs with my good friend Rubs back on Xbox One. However, I was soon left devastated as the story had come to a close. Something was just missing. This wasn't until my brother convinced me to get back into PC gaming, so I purchased a PC just so I could play custom zombies. This honestly was what we had all been waiting for, so I ordered a new PC and set off on my custom journey with my bro. Although my brother then got diagnosed with cancer, putting a spanner in the works. This actually led to me creating my YouTube channel. I started off creating guides so he could watch them when he was going through his chemo, and then when he felt well enough to play, we could play it and hopefully smash it out all in one go.
I need your points badly. Run somewhere so I can get your points.
Come here! I don't know where you are. Man, this has been one messy game so far. We really need to sort ourselves out.
Oh, that's the short dude.
Oh.
What the?
Oh no.
And you're going to go down now, just because that stupid little psycho penguin is absolutely loopy.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, I hate you too.
During my crazy journey as a YouTuber, I've been lucky enough to meet some amazing content creators and also mappers within this great space. I even helped translate the description of a map created by an Italian fella, who eventually took me under his wing and showed me the amazing world of mapping. This was overwhelmingly awesome, as I've always wanted to be a game designer, but never had any experience in this field. Due to this great man, I was able to accomplish one of my biggest dreams and kind of felt like a game designer. He helped me script Ghetto Town, Ghetto Ween, Ghetto Mus and Belatmus for those who want to check them out. Ghetto Mus and Belatmus, you get to ride a bloody phoenix to a boss battle. From that moment on, custom maps pretty much became my life until recently when I decided to also work on a new series that I was going to shamelessly plug. However, I CBA. So yeah, wait a minute, this is technically one. So yeah, I'm plugging this! What the Fuck Happened to Gaming is a series that I want to do where I cover games going deep into their creation and history, finding out what the franchise is up to now, or whether Microsoft or someone has bought them out and completely destroyed it. During our time playing BO3, we learned that the Fallen Keeper, known as a Shadow Man, who leads the Apothecans against humanity, introducing new enemy types such as Magwas, the Thrasher, the Russian Mangler Soldier, and the Fury. These new creatures were a nice, much needed feature to change up the mechanics enough to keep it fresh. This included more weaponry such as the use of Little Arnies as a tactical wonder weapon. Ragnarok's DG4 were also in a league of its own, being in its own slot, so it wouldn't replace any weapon, to even being able to summon a frickin' dragon. If this wasn't enough, Blops 3 introduced probably my favourite perk of all time, Widow's Wrath. This perk would freeze zombies in place for a few seconds after you took damage. This made figuring out Easter eggs a lot easier. This is why I loved it so much. Not as easy as the Gobblegums would though. These were a new feature that could be used to give players insane bonuses, abilities or effects. These can range from free points, free power-ups and even free perks that can aid you and your team. On top of all of this, the shield we had gotten used to in Black Ops 2 had been changed. And oh my, it was changed for the better, as now you can blast zombies into the air with the rocket shield, and it was just way more effective at defending you from all the hordes. And to mix it up a bit, they would also include two other variants that I'll cover later on this video. Pack-a-Punch had also been pimped out for Black Ops 3, not only giving the guns new attachments and a new shiny camo, but now you can pack-a-punch a weapon twice, pimping it out even further, giving it cool effects such as Thunderwall, Blast Furnace, Fireworks, Turned and Deadwire.
My favourite.
Is that not enough firepower for you?
No.
Well, Treyarch has you covered, introducing a new wonder weapon, the Apothecan Servant. This acts like a portable ghost device. Harnessing the power of the gods, you can unleash a purple black hole that will consume any zombie close by. Wait, what? There's even more? Yes, each map seemed to introduce a new mini-boss, or even a main boss fight, and with that, a new device or weapon to enhance your arsenal.
I've got a machine gun.
All these features made the tight maps a lot easier to move around and change the pacing of zombies. This brought us much tougher AI mechanics, an XP system just like the multiplayer allowing you to unlock camos and attachments, and the zombie limit had even been increased. On top of that, players could also take 3 hits and the sad departure of the dolphin dive. However, this wasn't too bad as it was replaced with a slide to give you a new way to escape the hordes. These changes kept you on your toes whilst leaving you feeling powerful enough to take anything on. The thought that went into these maps resulted in what I think to be the best zombies game ever made. And honestly, with the way things are going, I don't think it will ever be beaten, except for in custom maps, but I'll get to that a bit later on. Shadows of Evil. This is the 18th map. 18th map? Wow, it's hard to believe there's been so many maps. Treyarch decided to go balls deep on the lore within this game. Basing the first map in Morgue City, you play as 4 new heroes, Nero, Jessica, Jack and Floyd, trapped within a twisted realm by the Shadow Man, left to fight against the hordes of the undead. You start off with the Bloodhound pistol to mix things up a little. However, Treyarch added a cool Easter egg where you can get the RK5. It replaces the Bloodhound when you complete the achievement Get a Better Tomorrow. Talking about a better tomorrow, I never realised how much was crammed into this tiny ass map. New tactical grenades such as the Arnies, to the Apothecan Sword of Power. To assist with all the new power, you can also seem to upgrade everything too. They had gone above and beyond with Easter eggs in this, including side Easter eggs to pimp out all your weapons too, such as the little Arnies. On top of that, you can also pimp out your trip mines to become donut mines. And you can acquire the Mugwire head just for extra protection. There's so much crammed into this amazing map. If that wasn't enough for you, they also included Harvest pod drops, which are just like dig sites, but way more infected, which resulted in much better loot, such as things like a ray gun. You might think this map is going to be super easy, as you are so overpowered it's crazy. Well, don't worry, Treyarch has got this covered. To combat all your power, they added Mugwars, Parasites, and the Insanity Elementals. This enhances the difficulty during these rounds due to the size of the map. However, once again they added another mechanic to counter that, in the shape of the Civil Protector. He can be called upon to help protect and revive players for a few rounds. The biggest restraint to this map is when it comes to the Easter egg, as it can only be fully completed with a squad of 4 people, which, like myself, is one of the hardest feats in zombies. Getting a willing team of 4 to smash out an Easter egg. The Apothicon Servant is a buildable wonder weapon that you can craft and is so powerful that all players were fighting to get their hands on it. They introduced Beast Mode into this map, which is very similar to Afterlife from Mob of the Dead, allowing the players to have a short breather whilst in this form. The mode was used to help complete tasks around the map, and it also aided in the completion of the map's Easter egg. This allowed you to complete the rituals around the map, as well as assist you in acquiring the Apothicon swords. Yes, this game introduced swords, which I thought they should have included in every map, as that would have been awesome. Instead, they decided to keep each map as unique as they could. Introducing new elements into each map helped prevent any maps from feeling like a stale repeat. Well, depends on how you look at Revelations. Der Eisendrache. Finally, the OG crew is back, in what quickly became one of my favourite maps of all time. This castle is based on the castle from the film Where Eagles Dare. Just looking at the film case gives off Eisendrache vibes. Even the gondola was used from the film as inspiration, giving us a perfect setting for a zombies map. Who would have known? Instead of giving us a cool new perk for this map, we were giving multiple new ways to take down the hordes. One is a new craftable, the Ragnarok DG4. This was great at keeping zombies back, having a devastating ground and pound move, and even the option to place them on the floor to protect you while you can still shoot and run around like a headless chicken. I found these were added to make some of the Easter egg steps a million times easier, and oh boy they did. On top of that, this map could be completed solo, which was music to my loner ears, resulting in this quickly becoming my favourite maps due to the amazing Easter egg and of course the elemental bows. Elemental bows, I hear you say? Fuck yeah! This map had 4 mini Easter eggs. Mini I guess. That could be done once you fill up the hungry dragon heads, just like the doggos in Mob of the Dead. Then once you've acquired the standard bow, you could do one of 4 Easter eggs to pimp it out, so it would become fire, lightning, or some other crazy elements that you can wield at your disposal. For someone who loves Easter eggs like me, but isn't a fan of musical ones, this map has crammed in so many that there's a side Easter egg for everyone, and then some. From stuff like the plunger melee weapon that you must travel back in time to collect, to activating a disco so you and your friends can have a party! Or, just like me, I can dance alone. They didn't even stop there. They also included a side Easter egg that could change the entire model of the zombies into skeletons. Not only that, but if you're struggling with the new versions of the Panzers, you can complete a mini Easter egg to unlock the Panzer Soldat claw helmet, making you immune to its melee damage. Everything from the enemies to the Easter eggs, including the layout of the map, felt intricately entwined to just create the perfect masterpiece that oozed with passion and creativity. This, in my opinion, is where Treyarch reached the pinnacle of their creativity, and would sadly go downhill in later installments. Finally, back to the OG crew, they fully committed to the vast lore that we all would come to know and love. Even if the main agenda is to exterminate our favourite characters we have grown up loving for so long. This gripped everyone as we were eager to unravel the secrets of the new lore. Zetsubou No Shima. This map might confuse you at first, as like Ascension you have an unusual way to activate power. Instead of zooming around on the lunar landers, you will have to fill up buckets containing 115 water. 115 water? Then use the water to access the labs and the bunker. When activating power, a Thrasher will spawn in. This is a new mini-boss zombie. This is a mutated super zombie created by Division 9, in an attempt to create a super soldier. Without Jug, they can squish you with just one blow. If they miss, they will emit toxic spores to slow you down. They can dig underground and reappear to keep you on your toes. However, once you retaliate by shooting the spores on its body, it will glow red and become enraged. Thrashers will additionally devour nearby zombies to regenerate health if injured, regaining the spores on their bodies. They will also devour any down players in their path within a co-op game. The Thrasher must be killed to free the down player and revive them. And on top of that, this specific mechanic is required to earn an achievement, in the belly of the beast. Luckily, Thrashers will not devour players in a solo game, as it would just end your progress right then and there. I always felt this map was an enhanced tougher simulation of Shi No Numa, as I felt it was set on full torture mode, all due to the fact it included the return of ziplines.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Nah, I joke. It's because it's based in a bloody swamp. Just like Power, Pack-a-Punch has its own little quest to unlock it. Instead of adding water, you're collecting 3 parts to drain it. a new teleport traversal system was added to help escape the undead. This was in the shape of a sewer pipeline, allowing you to instantly travel between the bunker and the lab, as well as new ways to travel around the map. Treyarch also included some new inventive traps. The fan trap is used to pull zombies into it and then kill them instantly, as well as the additional propeller trap. If the new traps didn't excite you, the new wonder weapon might. Being a buildable, you must go and collect all the pieces before you can craft it. I mean, yeah, that's kind of obvious, Elwood. This gun then has a fairly lengthy upgrade progress, but I quite like it as it just shows the passion and thought progress behind the mad creation of this map. God, I don't know how to say this. The School of Nan Sapware allows the players to attack zombies with 2 attacks, Vaporize and Mesmerize. If only it hypnotized as well, it would feel like a System of a Down album. Using other skulls found around the map, you can create it and it will go into its own little slot just like the Ragnaroks, fueling you with even more unstoppable power. That's just because you're gonna need it. If, like me, when you see a spider in real life, all you want to do is run away and hide, well, they're within this map, and if you try and do that, they will 100% chase you down. And if that doesn't scare you, well, how about a giant spider? No? Well, if you're lucky enough to survive the swamp until round 50, you will notice another monster in the background, and it will begin to circle the map. It's gonna get me! Gorod Krovi. Gorod Krovi is a map I just love to hate, but I can't. I might be terrible at this map, but I believe it's yet another masterpiece. Intricately woven together, a mix of great Easter eggs and storytelling within the ruins of Stalingrad. This map offers the player a crazy challenge to unlock the Pack-a-Punch, where you end up riding a freaking dragon all the way to the machine in order to use it, whilst playing a cool in-game cutscene, which even mappers are now able to do within custom maps, which is just mind-boggling, but I'll come back to that in a bit. A new wonder weapon is to be discovered within the mystery box, which consists of the GKZ-45 on the left, which shoots yellow clouds of energy that slows down zombies, and the Ray Gun Mark III on the right, which shoots a baby version of the standard ray gun projectile, risk-free of damaging yourself within close quarters, and is able to set off a reaction causing a life-saving black hole once you shoot the yellow clouds of energy from the GKZ-45, similar to the ones created by the Gersh devices and the Apothicon Servant. However, much weaker. That's only just scratching the surface of the power you'll behold within this map. The Gauntlet of Siegfried is an element 115 iron gauntlet infused with a dragon whelp. You will need to find, hatch and train a dragon, but the time is well spent as you'll get a freaking dragon on your arm. Combine this with the new dragon strikes and you'll be able to engulf anything in your path in devastating infernos of hell. The dragon strike is an upgradable wonder weapon. Using the Dragon Strike, you can summon a dragon to decimate zombies by breathing fire on them, incinerating them into nothing more than a pile of ash. Its upgradable variant, the Dragon Knight controller, can be obtained by killing approximately 40 zombies. Not only do you have all this firepower, but the new shield can also shoot fire, the Guard of Fafnir. This is a buildable shield similar to the rocket shield that requires 3 parts to construct. Once complete, it works like a normal shield, protecting you from zombies. However, when equipped, you can shoot fireballs. With your newfound power, you'll also notice taking reduced damage when you're in fire. Talking about new traps, 2 giant eye beam traps can be found around the map, and they're only 1500 points to activate. This triggers a large and intense beam to destroy anything that walks through it. The main reason you need all this firepower is due to the 2 new mini bosses that have included into this map, the Russian Mangler and the Valkyrie drones. The Russian Mangler soldier will tower over you and the zombies with its large build. Wielding a massive arm cannon, it shows no remorse as he blows you into the next round. Sustaining substantial damage will cause the brute to rage out, resulting him sprinting at you while swinging sharp sickles attempting to slice you up. Valkyrie drones, ugh. As the map fades to blue, these buggers will appear, just kinda like dogs. Shoot off their armour and destroy the core before these things charge at you and zap you with high volts of electricity. If, like me, you can't stand these dudes, there's an equipable Valkyrie helmet that can increase your protection from their attacks, while boosting your damage to them. After shooting the camera and the arms off 6 to 10 drones, the helmet will appear just over by Jug. However, if you find yourself struggling with the Manglers more, you could also acquire the Mangler helmet to increase your damage and reduce theirs towards you. On the other hand, if you were a pro and didn't struggle against either of them, you could always complete the dragon egg, get the dragon strikes, and ride a dragon from every station, revealing your own set of dragon wings. That increased your explosive and fire resistance by 30% and allows you to teleport to the hatchery and summon a dragon free of charge. This map really reminds me of World at War. Well, only this small section really, NAC to be precise, due to the mounted MG42. It's pretty poop as far as I'm aware, but you can actually use it for a small fee. And I find this a nice little shout out to the map, unlike our next map that doesn't know the meaning of subtle. Revelations. Uniting fragments from Nukdare and Toten, Origins, Mob of the Dead, Verrucht, Kino de Toten, the Eisendrache, and Shangri-La to create a fractured landscape that made homage to all these old maps. Overriding 4 corruption engines that can be found across all these maps will then summon Apothicons to try and mess you up. Once you've managed to activate all of them, it will result in the activation of power around the map. This reveals an entrance inside the Apothicon that once you destroy its yellow heart, it will free the Pack-a-Punch machine, allowing you to pimp out your weaponry. Due to the mixed match of maps included in this masterpiece, Treyarch also added an abundance of weaponry from the previous maps, including the return of the Guard of Fafnir, the Dragon Shield, and also the Ragnaroks to make another appearance. However, I did read if you die with the DG4 equipped, you will luckily respawn with it, which is quite a nice little added feature that I honestly do not know if this is the case for DE. So I'll check it out now. Huh, oh yeah, it works. The Apothicon Servant returns via the mystery box and can still be pimped out by shooting 5 glowing blue panels around the outside of the map. Little Arnie's return as a great tactical wonder weapon that replaced the monkey bombs. You can upgrade Little Arnie's by getting 100 to 150 kills by each player in the lobby, then throw it in the church bell's tower window. If you are successful, you will hear Samantha and have your Arnie's upgraded. The Path of Sorrow is a one-hit katana melee weapon that can be bought off the wall in the Shangri-La Island zone. However, you will have to complete a Better Tomorrow Easter egg for it to become available for 500 points. Unlocking the A Better Tomorrow Easter egg can be quite tricky, as you need to complete the cycle by completing all the Easter eggs in Black Ops 3. This is to aid you fighting all the enemies within the map, which include the Fury and the Panzer Soldats as the larger mini-bosses, and then the Flying Parasites and Spiders as the dog replacements. This was a nice touch for the last map of the game, having the story come to kind of a close, where all the characters' souls were going to turn into children in Monty's perfect universe. This was until the Shadow Man was released from the summoning key, and he had it and was able to release the Apothicons. They begin to wreak havoc across all the multiverses, and it's down to you to end him once and for good. Which you do, and with the evil vanquished, it's down to Monty to correct the universe and create something beautiful once again. Black Ops 4. This then leads me to Black Ops 4. Ugh. Well, where do I start? I know the storyline, however I've never actually played this game, as I'll be honest with you, I heard it was poop. So I've never got round to it, not even to this day. Saying that, I find it unfair if I went into detail on this. So I'll let this great man explain it and said,
Are you effing kidding me? What kind of garbage is that? Why did you break the game more?
Before I can bring this video to a close, as it would be treating BO3 with such an almighty injustice, I have to mention some other key features that in my opinion made this the greatest zombies game of all time. Well, that's if you have a PC. Split screen! This, to my knowledge, is the last game where you're able to sit back and enjoy couch play via split screen on the PC with your friends. Now we're stuck with solo based adventures, or just limited to online play. This personally removes a fundamental part of zombies, as the core element to having fun in this game mode for a lot of people was enjoying it with their friends. Nothing was better than a big game night with your friends, full of food and no sleep as you trudge through the hordes of bodies as you push to high rounds whilst jerking each other off. Removing split screen, this was just the start of Activision's plan on how to milk every player for what they're worth. Nowadays, they do that without even giving us the content they promise. However, I'll cover that topic once I actually get to the what the fuck happened to COD Zombies video. You know, the thing that all these last few videos were meant to be. But I just happened to get a tad carried away with talking about the creation, as I felt what I mentioned in these last few videos had not been covered by any other YouTuber that I've seen. So once again, just a massive shout out to the creators of Zombies, as we wouldn't have this amazing game if it wasn't for you guys. Personally, I feel having split screen in any game increases the replayability that it can have. However, BO3 went above and beyond, as they also gave the community community access to mod tools. This allowed them to go wild creating anything they wanted. For this one factor alone, zombies will never die, as Call of Duty Zombies has such a loyal and dedicated community, and due to this fact alone, someone out there will always be creating something new and shiny. Unlike what Activision have done, creating something just to try and make money out of us. Whereas the community are different, they create something that people actually want to play. Even if it might not look as sexy and shiny as the latest CODs, we'll still have the replayability that players are actually looking for, unlike most of the recent COD parts of poo. Honestly, it's so hard not to shit on how the latest COD Zombies installments have been so bad right now, but I'm saving all my anger and hatred for my next video. What the fuck actually happened to COD Zombies? So please stay tuned for that one, because that will be the summary of everything. Now back to the customs. Crazy maps with full-blown Easter eggs and mind-blowing mechanics that introduce bosses are released every year by one person or a small team trump the creations that a AAA company can do with a fully paid team. It's incredible what this community can achieve when they have the tools to do so. Please make a new version of mod tools for them. That's right, these great maps are created for free for everyone to enjoy. I just wish Activision would hire some of these amazing designers. On top of that, in-depth mods and game modes are created within this engine to give us something even more than just zombies. Even myself, with the help of a good friend, Mr. Fruity, I've created an amazing PvP game mode, where you have to conquer the opposition's base in order to win, just like a classic PS1 game, LAPD Future Cop.
Sounds simple? I don't think so!
With access to the mod tools, the possibilities are honestly endless for what the community can achieve. Unfortunately, we can't always rely on Activision, but we always can on BO3.
Damn, this is tragic. Absolutely tragic. Like always, it would not be a stream without technical errors.
Just imagine they actually did release a newer version of mod tools, so the creators had an up-to-date way of keeping the community alive. Think of the amazing creations that would be created then. Before I go, I just want to say a massive thank you to the voice actors, as without them we would not have our iconic characters that help mould Zombies into what it is today. So thank you so much to Fred, and I can't say your last name, as Nikolai Belensky, Steve Blum as Tank Dempsey, Nolan North as Dr. Edward Richthofen, and a special thanks to Tom Kane who played Takio, who no longer voice acts as he unfortunately had a stroke in 2020.
Over 10 years this has become part of our lives, and thanks for letting us be part of yours.
Without you four, I fear we won't have Zombies anymore. Thank you all so much for making it to the end, for what started as a what the fuck saga, which I soon corrected to the creation of saga, is almost at an end. My next video I'll be covering Cold War, Vanguard and the latest MWZ. Then finally I'll tell you what the fuck happened to Call of Duty Zombies. Like 7 million videos later. After that, I'll be diving deep into other games, starting off with LAPD Future Cop, which I'll also release my PvP maps around this time, as I've actually recreated this in COD, for us all to play and enjoy. So, thank you all so much for making it to the end. You guys have been amazing, where I have been Elwood from Not So Serious Gaming. I hope you have a great morning, evening, night, whatever freaking time of day is. I hope you have a great one, and peace out. Hey guys, thank you so much for making it to the end. I just wanted to shout out my brand new merch. Items such as cups, mouse mats, hats, hoodies, t-shirts, and even a poster, cause why the hell not? There's even a top with a Rex wearing a little hat. Click the link down below and check it out for yourself. I've also set up a Patreon for those who are asking to support me in another way. Of course, don't feel like you have to, and have a great day.
The f was that?